Hello and welcome to another Doctor's Assistant 1 video, and today I'm doing a review of the 1975 Terror of the Zygons 3-pack, which I'm very happy about getting and that they've released and that. I'm a massive fan of Terror of the Zygons as an episode, and yeah, I'm really glad that of this recording. It's the 5th of October and I'm really glad that I was able to pick this one up at one of the 4 B&Ms that me and my mum went to. So yeah, without further ado, I'll be going over the action figures. Firstly, you can see you get a Mike Benton action figure, and that this time around they've got the sort of more accurate sort of assault rifle sort of rifles they had back in the show. Al Juard did say basically that it was just a case of they had these in mind for maybe the other sets, just a case of they were a bit more tricky to make, and so they weren't able to make them in time for the 1971 set, I think, Claws of Axos one. So as opposed to these ones in that set, if you recall, we got these sort of combat rifles or rifles that are a bit more, for lack of a better term, generic to like modern guns and that, which I don't mind actually, because any accessory in any Doctor Who set is always a bonus in my opinion, or in any action figure sort of play set or collector's item-y thing or whatever. But as I say, as a big sort of buff, Doctor Who buff slash nerd and or fan of this episode in particular, it is nice this time around to get the more screen accurate assault rifle, and it's very nicely detailed with the sort of mesh sort of detail and the sort of magazine there, and obviously there's a bit there to hold it, and then there's a bit to have it rest against his arm sort of thing. This time around they've gone for more of a camo look as opposed to this sort of darker or green with like this grey wash. This time they've actually gone for a camo look, which I prefer personally. You've still got the unit badge on the side and the 3 arrows sort of insignia making out that he's, you know, what rank he is in the force and or unit. This time around I feel like these shoes are a bit more brown, dark brown, with a little bit of a wash but not much. You've still got the sort of brown gloves, which makes total sense because they are in the army, and then you've still got the sort of buckles and straps and pouches for all sorts, maybe ammo and grenades, although thinking about it that wouldn't be particularly safe to have grenades in there, but probably just ammo to be honest. Then you've got the beret, which is very nice, and then the little badge to be like unit, which is very nicely detailed, as well as the likeness to Ian Levine. Honestly, I've met the guy and it looks very him really of the time anyway, of the old stories. Articulation wise is just your standard sort of humanoid Doctor Who action figure really. Nothing too major or nothing too new in terms of articulation, unfortunately. But moving on to the middle figure, which is quite an interesting figure because they've done this prototype apparently quite a few years back, and yeah, he basically has the same sort of coat as the Genesis of the Daleks Doctor, which is this sort of brown big duffel coat, although here it seems like it's more of a light brown, almost like the light brown of the Sharda Tom Baker we got with the Sharda box, and that, so it's more of a sort of nice sort of lighter chocolatey brown, I guess, as opposed to a sort of dark brown like, as I just said, the Genesis one. And obviously the most noticeable difference, or two big noticeable differences between, say, this one and this one, is obviously instead of having the long scarf, the iconic long multicoloured scarf, he's got like this tartan sort of Scottish this Scottish like sort of scarf, which I really like. It's only sort of painted on one side, which is totally fine. That makes total sense. You wouldn't really see the other side. And it's got nice, you know, yellows and blues and light blues, greenish colour, red obviously with the yellow tassels and that, and as I say, white and that. And then the other noticeable thing is that the trousers are kind of like this light greyish with this sort of splattered on sort of grey or like sort of red dark blue, black and sort of colour, which really do make the trousers look more like fleecy and like it was in the actual episode, and or episodes he wore those sorts of trousers, which is pretty much a big chunk of his run, really, I'm pretty sure. And it's nice to have or with this release something different other than just the scarf and the hat, obviously, but which I'll get to in a moment. And then you've got the brogues, which are very nicely detailed and that, and very accurate, screen accurate and that. His hands moulded so you can still obviously have him with a Sonic and have him, you know, sort of maybe trying to punch someone or maybe looking like he's about to be scared of something, I don't know. But yeah, the hat is very nicely detailed also, the sort of Scottish cap and that. Very nicely detailed with the white and then the red and then the sort of silver like thing and then the red bits on top and the red bit there, as well as it just like making its way on the back as well, and also changing or making the hair sculpt kind of different as well, because it's more just like poofy at the sides and that. And yeah, now I've got a grand total of 10 Tom Baker action figures, which is probably 10 more than anyone in the right mind should really have. So, but that's a thing that I can say now, because, you know, why not? But yeah, I really like this particular Fourth Doctor variant. It is essentially just a variant. Obviously, if you've not got any Fourth Doctor, I would say maybe skip this one. I'd say try and track down one of the other Fourth Doctor figures and then get this one if you're a really big fan of Terror of the Zygons. And that, I'd say do that. But yeah, then moving on to the last figure, we have we have the sort of Yates action figure, but the funny thing is this time they've just literally painted a moustache on him, which is really funny because like this is the Yates action figure from last time, or the Captain Yates figure, and then this is him, as I say, this time where he's just got this tash. Although it was funny because lots of people were like, who the hell is this character from, or where's this character come from? And then it's like one shot in Terror of the Zygons, there is a unit soldier with just a tash. So I love that. I love the cheekiness of this set in that respect. And again, he comes with another assault rifle. So be rest assured even that you do get 2 assault rifles, because I was worried that there was only one in the pack, even though there's 2 obviously unit soldiers. So but basically the problem is that one of them is just stuck in one of the bottom corners where some of the card is over it. So, but yeah, as I say, it's very similar to the, obviously, my Benton figure, but it is different from this one. This one, as I say, has the more sort of darker greens with a sort of grey wash, whereas this, as I say, is going for more of a camo look, like a multicoloured, oh, not multicoloured, but multi-layered sort of green and dark browns and light green and dark green and whatnot. And then the trousers are sort of a light greenish sort of colour with a bit of a dark wash, whereas these are, as I say, a darker green with like just a grey wash as well. And then, as I say, I feel like the shoes are brown and then they're the black and that. But yeah, I'm not sure if that's more screen accurate to this episode in particular as opposed to Claws of Axos. But yeah, I am over the moon about this set, and I'd give it a well-earned 8 out of 10. I really do think if you're a massive fan of Terror of the Zygons or Tom Baker is your Doctor, or you grew up in that sort of era, or you know, you're nostalgic for it, or as I say, you're a big fan of that episode in particular like I am, then this is the must-have set for you, really. I think it's, you know, got a really nice Tom Baker variant, and then two more unit soldiers to add to your ranks, as it were, because now we've got a total of like 4 unit soldiers and a brigadier and lots of other variants of the brigadier. So yeah, I'd give this set, Terror of the Zygons, on the 1975 Terror of the Zygons unit set, a well-earned 8 out of 10. Thanks for watching. Please do comment, rate and subscribe.